And we're off. Hey peeps, welcome to Nevicast episode 1, where we like to talk about anime, video games, and generally whatever the hell else comes up on our minds. My name is Chris. I'm kind of like the master of the the but-tishes.
Also our fearless Nuwanda.
Yes, I am the fearless Nuwanda.
And our dad.
And daddy as well.
But not daddy.
But not in the disgusting way. We're probably going to read into that.
No, those are two inside jokes. Inside jokes.
Inside jokes from galore. Alright, so yeah, let's go around the room real quick. To the left of me, we have Miss Ellie. Say hi.
Missy Elliott.
Yes. Ellie in the group tends to handle a lot of the artwork, and she is our den mother. And
so why not let her introduce herself?
Yeah, you pretty much did it. It's fine.
see. And then to the left of her is the man of few words, Adon.
Adon, yes. I am Adon.
Also known as the delivery man. Because his delivery is spot fucking on.
Nice. I like that.
And then next to Adon is the other gentleman you've been listening to for moments, Mr. Hobbs. Say hello.
Hello everyone out there. Hope you're ready to rock.
Yeah, see, Hans just tried to...
Hans?
Hans.
My name is Hans.
Yes,
my name is Hans.
Chris
I like
Hans.
Wiener Schnitzel. And that was horribly racist. We shall move on.
Yeah, but now you've got a new nickname. He is now forever known as Hans.
Hans.
Are we in agreement?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're in agreement. Hans. All right, and then, of
I've
course,
had worse.
next to Hans is, of course, our fighting game specialist, our man who loves the Street Fighter, the Guilty Gears, but we can't get him to play Smash. Jared,
Never.
everybody.
Never. How's it going, people? Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Yes.
Nice.
Master of the Four Honorables.
Ultimate Weeaboo.
Yes. Yeah, like very quickly you'll probably realize that we are all weeaboo trash. So just keep that in mind as you're going through this more and more. But anywho,
We now pause for tea identification. What are you drinking, Chris?
Tea break, everybody.
tea break.
Royal English breakfast.
Yes, we are having some breakfast tea, which is going to get us all nice and caffeined up. But yet with none of that caffeine guilt that you get from soda pop.
From Starbucks, by the way.
Yes. I don't know. Should we be even saying Starbucks though?
Starbucks sponsors us.
Give us money.
Give us money, Starbucks.
Okay.
That was
No,
the
they
name of
don't.
the last time.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna kind of kick things off tonight. We're gonna talk about a little bit of gaming stuff. All right, so we're gonna flash back to New Year's Eve. We're all hanging out together, and at one point, a friend of Ellie's is like, "Hey man, I need some help doing some Monster Hunter," and I was like, "All right, yeah, me and Hobbs will help you real quick." And so I go in, open my game up. I'm like, "Well, Hobbs, you got your character ready to go, right?" And he was like, well, my new character. Oh, so you're wanting to switch? Like, wouldn't it be easier just to switch over to your other character? Yeah, I kind of deleted her. And like externally, I'm kind of thinking, all right, that's okay. We'll work through this. I'll get you built up too. No worries. We'll get going. Internally, I'm like, what the fuck?
Classic Hobbs.
And like it kind of, but thinking about it though, like it got me thinking. Like in the months since, and it's kind of something I wanted to talk about tonight, is that the tendency of older gamers to want to constantly restart, because what we just described with Hobbs is something that actually goes on with me and a lot of other folks that I know, where we grew up in like the Atari and NES generations of video gaming. So we're old farts on this stuff. And back in the day, you really didn't have like save files all over the place, except for a couple of games had like batteries inside of them to save files, like Legend of Zelda and whatnot. And you really didn't have any very games that were like about passwords. So most of the time, you enjoyed a game by simply playing it over and over again from the very beginning. And of course, over the years, you've had everything kind of, video gaming has evolved. You now have games that are like always kind of focusing on continuous quality of life for at least a minimum of a year, if not longer. Like the Destiny, Call of Duties, even like Final Fantasy 15's doing it right now.
Yeah, like back at the
Yeah, go ahead.
Second. Back in the day, like it was really weird. Like with games, like they don't have like the big storylines or anything. I mean, they had storylines, but not as vast. So like the life you would get out of that is that it would be like, just more shit thrown at you. And then, like, or point-and-click games, like, gameplay with that, and the longevity was you just clicking around the place, trying to find the one little pixel that
Some
you
of the
could
best
find.
some of the best games of our time was just, they took your girlfriend, go beat guys up.
Yeah.
That's kind of the end
And
of
then
it.
they just throw more shit at you as time goes on, and, like, you just constantly die and repeat the same thing over and over, and that's the longevity
Well,
of
most
the
of
game.
the time, not only did they not have a lot of storage space to work with, but they also had an adaptation from the arcades, because the arcade was primarily where you got your experience,
Right.
Yeah.
and they just ported it home, so they're not going to add, few extra modes.
Yeah, you
They're
already
just
know what Double Dragon
play the game.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So like for a lot of older gamers, like Hobbs, myself, Jared, and even Adon over here, because he goes through some arcade games. For a lot of us, we kind of have that internal like PTSD built into us, to where like even with a lot of these games where the whole point is you want to continue on the same path with your current character, we can't help but want to just start from the top, because to us that beginning climb to get to the end is more satisfying than being at the end. Like a really good case I'll use is with me in Final Fantasy 14. I have characters on 3 different servers right now, and I never bother with doing a world transfer. I could do a world transfer if I wanted to, which, is like $20 for a single transfer. But instead, every time I've just went ahead and like create new character, and then I start from the very beginning, even though I know it's going to take me like 3 to 4 months to just clear all the initial main scenario quest storyline stuff, which is from A Realm Reborn through Heavensward. But I do it anyway because I just find it to be more fun.
And while we're talking about world transfer services, I actually did a world transfer the first time Chris and I started playing 14. And then the server turned out to be trash, because he was like, let's go there. And, I had transferred my character already because I'd had a bad experience on that server. The free company, which is like a guild, because you're probably more familiar with guilds than free companies, had more or less disbanded, and I got left holding the reins of something I didn't want.
You were basically running that free company by
Yes,
the time.
I was.
remember that.
Which, my solution was, let's join with someone who actually wants to lead a free company. And they had a cool name. That was all I knew about them. The rest, I didn't really care. I just wanted to log in, shield punch things, and go about my day.
Yeah.
So, shit, I just lost my train of thought
I'll
completely.
pick up from there. So yeah, I got back into Final Fantasy 14 at this point, mainly via Hobbs, because I had taken a while, like a year off. And he's just like, yeah, why don't we go play on this server here? And I'm like, well, I've kind of got this character that I've invested a lot into on this server, and because I'd come over there with a bunch of friends of mine, and I was pretty deep. Like, I think I was getting close to Shiva at that point in the story. And no, I wasn't quite at Shiva, but I was like at Ramu. And I was just like, yeah, man, why don't you just bring her over here? This is a pretty good server and all that. So he went ahead, paid the $20 to transfer over, and we jumped in, and then found out the server had turned to shit in the meantime. And it was just like, it was one of those, god damn it, like kind of moments. It was just like,
Well, what
man.
was it? Was there like a mass exodus, or did it
It,
just...
a lot of people that I'd found on that original server that I started with Chris on had not only moved to the server that I had originally transferred to, but the people that we ran into on the first server were just complete jerks.
It was basically kind of the equivalent of being on one of the legacy servers. As all the legacy servers tend to have folks that are kind of extraordinarily stuck up and not really helpful for newer players, or players who are new to certain fights. So yeah, like we went into a Ramu fight, and then I was asked if I was a bot at the end of it. Like all the characters were convinced that I was a bot the whole time.
Oh my god.
Because what had happened was that it was a Ramu fight, and I was healing as White Mage. But in the Ramu fight, at a certain point, you're supposed to Asana like this particular like deal that Ramu does off of the tanks. But because I was trying to help Hobbs, like I was spamming Cure 2 the whole time and regen, trying to keep him good to go. As a result, I missed out on the Asana parts. So they were all convinced that like I was a bot, and I was just like,
Yeah, if you're not up to speed, then you're trash.
Pretty much.
I mean, I was on, what was it, Balmug? Was that the one I tried to get you to go to? Or
No,
was
that was
Gilgamesh. It was
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. You know, Gilgamesh was a lot of fun and actually made me enjoy playing the game more because there was always people around. It was like going back to like the first month of the game. There was always someone in the low-level areas to help you out and et cetera, et cetera. But the only problem I had with that server was that, yeah, if you didn't know what was going on, then just don't even bother. Like, watch the fights on YouTube. You know, don't watch cutscenes. Like, we're here to get this done. Like, I remember at the very end of the actual FF14 story, I didn't get to see any of it because the entire group was just plowing through it so quickly. Like, I didn't have time to watch any of the cutscenes. And I guess that's one of the bad things. Other than that, I had a great time on Gilgamesh. That was actually a really fun server.
Of course, I also remember when no one had seen them, so everyone watched the cutscenes.
Yeah, just like in 11 as well.
Yeah.
It was like, is he not done? Oh my god.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, have you ever had that problem, Ellie, when it comes to video gaming? Do you find yourself restarting over and over again?
Oh yeah.
It's our inner perfectionist.
Do what?
It's our inner perfectionist.
No, not really. I kind of half-at. No, I've never 100%ed a game before because I'm too fucking ADD to do it. At least I'll start out. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna 100% this. I'm good.
Really? Like when I was
Yeah.
younger, like with games like Mega Man and stuff, I beat a boss and feel like I could have done that better, and then I'd reset it and do it again.
I mean, I'll play a game like over and over again and stuff, but I mean, I just don't like doing all of the extra stuff at once. I don't know what happens. I just don't feel like doing it.
I will say, with Demon Souls, my first character, I deleted her because she had puffy cheeks.
Yeah, see, that's part of it right there is the appearance thing.
Mm-hmm. Even though in most FromSoft games, you're probably not going to make a very good-looking character.
Yeah. All very doughy looking.
Doughy or giant
Doughy-looking
noses
ass.
or look like one of the aborted old ones anyway.
It was like I was telling Hobbs a while back. I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and I have serious autism. So I had gotten like 30 hours into the main story, and like, you know what? I just don't like my guy's eyes, and just started all over again and just remade him. I was like, something about that nose just pisses me off, man. I gotta start all over again, do the whole thing. But I mean, for me and especially, I think my autism really started with the early MMO days, like playing Phantasy Star Online, playing FF11. Those games I had so many characters, like I couldn't even get a hold of one. Because it didn't make sense to me to have one class, have one character being one class. Having one character being all classes. I had to have my paladin guy, I had to have my ninja guy, that kind of thing. I just didn't want to do all in one.
Well, yeah, back then though, that was before the like.
No,
age
11
of-
had the job system.
Yeah, they did. Because
Yeah.
even my target was my main, but I still had 2 Humes.
Yeah, you did.
And just, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying even before 11, like, I mean, a lot of times, like, you were kind of more committed to, like, your one character being a single class or advanced class.
It took some doing. I mean, honestly, not to interrupt again, but 11, like, the game and the situation with my my Link Shell forced me to play that one character because of everything I had to do with Summoner.
Mm-hmm.
After all that time and effort spent trying to get every one of those damn summons, like, I was pretty much locked in. I couldn't do anything else.
Where I was jokingly called the 30 cap job whore because I'd play all of the jobs up to 30, and I think the only ones I bothered to get past that were Samurai up to like 80 something before the game just jumped the shark for me.
Yep. But yeah, that's like a constant deal that as older gamers we find ourselves having to fight is the whole tendency of, you know, do we want to keep going with this quality of life stuff? Do we really want to keep going forward? Or do we want to just say, fuck it, and start over again?
Well, it's also the same problem I have with writing. It's not perfect, so I'm going to redo it. The novel I'm currently working on, I've been working on that since I was about 17. And sort of, not for not trying. But for the most part, I've introduced a character or decided to go from a different point in the character's history and then scrapped it. So if I'm to ever finish the goddamn thing, I'm going to have to cut that shit out and just proceed with it being imperfect, at least at first.
Speaking of crazy imperfections, it's now the Animu talk. Let's talk some dank Aminus.
Okay, so I watched
Aminus?
the first episode of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Dude.
You were right! It's cute as fuck! Like, oh, it's so ridiculous, but it's adorable. Like, oh, it's so, like, I need to watch more, but there's only 5 episodes out right now, right?
Yeah.
But damn, I thought that was just gonna be absolute trash because I was just like, okay, what the fuck is it? No, it's actually pretty entertaining. You were right, and Jared has informed me that the guy that made it also does a lot of hentai.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, like I kind of did some looking up on the dude after, like, as Jared pointed out to me too.
Cool.
So I looked up. What was his name again?
Cool Kyoshinja.
Yeah, Cool Kyoshinja.
Wasn't that one of your character names in 11?
It was. That's where I got it from.
Ah.
But yeah, like he started off like
11?
doing like a lot of hentai work, and then
It might have been 4.
he's moved up into doing more and more legitimate series.
Right.
Like there was another one too, like My Husband Can't Understand Me.
he did that
I
one
can't
too.
understand what my husband is saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that one's
behind
so
that one as
cute.
well.
And Komori-san wa Koto Waranai, which is Komori-san Can't Refuse. It's 4-koma. That got turned into an anime, which is also on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. So it's like this dude's kind of come up out of nowhere and just like put out like crazy series after crazy series one by one. But yeah, I'm enjoying the fuck out of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
So, oh my god, like, sorry I keep saying that, but, oh my god, like, whenever, like, she was, like, showing, like, you know, the laundry, and she's like, oh yeah, my saliva can, get stained out of laundry, and it's like, you know, she's, like, eating all the laundry and shit,
Yeah.
and, oh my god.
That, just looking at the completely stressed out design of like Kobayashi in general,
Yeah.
like she pretty much almost typifies like the IT coder.
Yeah, and her
It just-
voice is, like, deeper, you know, like, an actual woman's voice, you know? It's
Yeah.
not, like, super high-pitched on purpose or anything. And then you have fucking, Toru.
Toru.
Yeah, Toru is just like, hello! And it's, like, the contrast is really funny.
Yeah. It was actually kind of strange. For a split second, I thought that the voice actress for Kobayashi was actually the same voice actress they used for Ryoko from Kill la Kill. I almost thought that at first, but no, it's like, so it's a completely different voice actress. I was really surprised. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's a really good show. Like, you should definitely go check it out. It is on the slice of life things, and the first episode's really kind of gaggy at first, but it balances itself out later on.
Because they have a lot of, like, the whole, like, oh my god, look how big your boobs are kind of things. But, like,
Yeah.
if that doesn't bother you, then, you know, it's really campy. And if you like campy, then it's, you know, then you're going to enjoy it.
Exactly. Yeah, so, yeah, what have you been catching lately, Jared?
Well, I have something to add from last week's podcast. Dan, my friend,
Yes.
you had mentioned that you were watching Drifters.
Yes.
So I looked that up, and the big shock to me was that I didn't realize that was made by the same guy that made Hellsing.
Oh, no way.
What?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
So based on that, I was like, well, guess I'm watching this one now.
It makes a lot of sense. It's
So
a
yeah,
good
it
show.
was good. I watched the first episodes, and man, that first episode was bloody.
Yes. It's badass.
Blood everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was pretty good. Other than that, I haven't really been watching, not too much. Watching Iron Blood Orphan season 2, and yeah, that's about it.
Well, and now here's the time where we go to feudal Japan. Hobbs, what have you been checking out?
Yeah, weren't you watching Shigarui?
Yeah, I finished Shigarui.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
Yes, it was.
Ugh.
But of late, I haven't really been watching any anime because I've been trying to write.
What about
Moving on.
What about Gintama? How
Yeah,
far are
you did start.
'Cause I
You
know
did go
you
back
said
into
you were getting caught
Gintama.
up. I know you said you were.
Yeah, I'm getting caught up. I just this week I haven't watched any.
Mm.
Hmm.
I-
So, done.
I actually normally go to the old school stuff. I normally don't go into new stuff, but I like to go back to the good old Hunter x Hunter.
Yes. Which you all need to watch if you haven't already.
Yes. And
Started.
they did a revamp in 2014.
Yep.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It is phenomenal.
I have a feeling that revamp was probably like everybody trying to be like, look, finish your fucking manga.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
And instead, dude was like, haha, thank you for giving me extra cash. Time to go play Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Later, dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? I've heard from like several Hunter x Hunter fans. They're like, okay, you need to watch it. It takes like 30 episodes to get into it, but I
Yes.
mean, you're gonna love it. And it's like, what the fuck?
But, I don't know. The pacing does start off kind of slow, but if you've been watching anime, it's that typical shonen
It
build
is.
up to the boy on his adventure and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff. It goes south pretty quickly in that series. Well, not quickly, but after that few episodes, then it starts to go kind of south, and it gets a lot darker than you initially, see it as. Because at first it's like, oh, it's this little kid, he's got his fishing pole, blah blah.
Yeah,
he's
it's
gonna
like,
go try and
oh,
find
cute.
his dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then arms start getting cut off and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
And like the character development is really well done.
Yeah, it
like
is.
it gets really dark.
It's just so disappointing because, and like in my case, whenever the I guess the remake came out, and I watched all of it, finished it, like the greatest series ever. I need more. It's not
Mhm.
done. I need more.
Yeah.
And then I went and read the manga, and
Oh man,
it's one guy. It's just Togashi doing it all by himself, and it shows.
Yeah.
So,
Man, I never did.
like
that.
there are panels where it's like Gon is doing an attack, and it's just like someone just like did scribbles on a white piece of paper.
What was the
It's like, oh,
the
God.
time? 'Cause this is kind of an older one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been around
Yeah,
for
it's like
quite
really
a while.
old.
like
so
10 years or more.
More than that.
Yeah,
it's
it's just
it came out in the 90s. So
it's just that
Yeah.
since he's A, doing it by himself, and B, because he got that Yu Yu Hakusho money,
Yes.
Sir.
that's one of the reasons why he's just able to take so many
That's
breaks.
right.
So yeah, it's like between like him having a bunch of money to begin with and Monster Hunter. I mean, it's like well, I'll take a few months off. I'll get around to working on it eventually. I mean, it's not like it's that and Berserk. Those are the two series where both of the authors are just like,
When it's done.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get around to it eventually.
Eventually.
Hopefully somebody at like their the whoever, I can't remember, like I know Shonen Jump publishes Hunter x Hunter. I can't remember who does Berserk. But hopefully their editors have the entire cliff notes of what the hell happens, so that in case these guys pass away, somebody can finish the fucking story.
Yeah.
You probably won't.
Yeah.
That is true. Like, yeah, probably for respect, I bet you they won't even try.
What's the name of the villain in Hunter x Hunter, the magician?
Hisoka? The
Hisoka,
clown?
yes.
Yeah.
He's one of the most complex villains that I've ever come across.
He
in
didn't
an
seem
anime.
that way at first, but as the series goes on,
Yeah.
like, okay, there's a little more to this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, he's just a pervert.
Yeah.
Nah, it's pretty cool. Like, there are a lot of really good villains. The spiders as well were also some of my other favorite villains
Yeah.
in the series. It's more than just DBZ style power levels. It's like it's kind of like JoJo in a sense, where everybody has like these weird different abilities that they use and how they use them. That makes it
Over
really
the
interesting.
top ability.
Yeah, over the top abilities. Yeah, there's a girl with a vacuum cleaner that sucks up souls and stuff in Hunter x Hunter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I'll get back on watching that some more then.
Yeah, speaking of crazy stuff, they just released the full, like, the OP, the TV OP for the new arc for Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
It's the Universal tournament.
Oh, that's right. They mentioned that before the Black Goku thing started.
Yeah.
What?
Well, in Dragon Ball Super, I haven't really caught a whole ton of it, but I know like they just finished up with the Goku Black arc, which was basically evil doppelganger of Goku.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, guys, we're gonna make Goku.
Yes.
But
They explained it very well.
Exactly.
They explained it very well.
Yeah,
at least. I
that's
will
right.
say that. At least they didn't just
Yeah.
put it out there. Here he is.
And it was
They
actually
gave
kind
us
of
an
a
explanation.
And it was
yeah.
another cool way to get Future Trunks back into the
Basically,
series.
yeah,
that's right.
Just totally ignoring the whole multiverse theory, though. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now they're getting ready for the Universal tournament. Of course, the main thing that everybody's talking about is the fact that there's a female Brawly.
I
Mhm.
haven't seen that.
She's like, it's like blink and you miss her.
Hmm.
But it's like, it's a female that like just looks, and all of a sudden, bam, the bulking up, and it's just like, oh shit, it's fucking Brawly.
So I think I'm the black sheep of the group because I do not like Dragon Ball.
I don't either.
Whatsoever.
I don't like it either.
It's
never
one of
get into
those.
it.
It is one of those where it's like it's the progenitor of a lot of modern shonen, and that it kind of was the one that innovated the whole. You know, we're gonna take 10 episodes for one fight type of deal. Which 3 of those are gonna be like just dude going like powering up like you know, like stuff like that. So it's one of those, like, when I was younger and I grew up watching it, I was just like, yeah, go get him, Goku! Now, not quite so much, but I do want to check out Super once the dub comes out.
That's how I felt about, like, Naruto, because I used to be a huge Naruto fan when I was a weeaboo. And now, like, I mean, I even, like, gave up on it in the Shippuden series. I was like, this is too much fucking Naruto.
Same.
And now it's Boruto.
I
He has
just-
a
I
son
just
named
wouldn't like
Boruto.
the ending.
Same fucking thing over again.
And I still say it's Bolt. It's
Yeah.
Boruto.
It's a katakanization of Bolt.
And also a
Oh my
play.
God.
Not Boruto. At least
Yeah, well,
I say that.
It's also a play on the word burrito as well. Like,
Is it
Kishimoto
really?
loves his
Burrito.
double entendres.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Oh, clever.
He also likes drawing toes.
Yeah.
That's why everyone wears those ninja sandals
Yeah.
instead of functional shoes that wouldn't end with you losing toes.
I will give Naruto this much. Like, the thing with the Naruto series is that it actually has gained more and more and more popularity, which is why it took them like over a year to finish the technical story of Naruto, even though the manga had ended like a year prior.
Yep.
Because like it was just printing way too much money.
700 chapters, man.
Yeah. And even then, like
it was
with
too big to end.
and now, like, they even with like concluding the manga story, like they're actually animating even more content,
Oh my
which
God.
covers the years in between Naruto and Boruto.
Boruto.
So,
Yeah.
the only thing I can tell you about Boruto though is I'm not. If you really like the movie, I would check out just for like shits and giggles. But the series that's out right now, I wouldn't necessarily check out, mainly because it's not even being written by Kishimoto. They've got like a complete B team that's doing it right now, so it's just kind of like.
So he got tired of Naruto.
Or he's probably just swimming in money and just wanting to take a break.
True.
But Shonen Jump needs him to come up with something, so it's just like Boruto's not even a weekly deal; it's like a monthly manga.
Yeah, well, after the series ended, he said he was going on break for quite a while. Because, you
Yeah.
know, it's finally done. I can go out and, like, see the outside world for a while.
Yeah,
So.
go see the outside world, go tour around in Paris, and then
Remember
come
when,
back with the hottest idea.
Remember when like Inuyasha was like really popular
No,
and
never.
Rumiko Takahashi, like, she even got tired of fucking Inuyasha and she just stopped, like the last episode of the anime was like, come on guys, go fight Naraku or whatever.
Was that from like the first?
That was
end
the
of
first time it
The
ended.
original anime.
Yeah.
ended
Yeah, the
on
original
episode.
anime
or the
ended.
final
ended on
act.
episode.
I'm
No,
guessing
the
people
final
were
act was years
pretty
later.
pissed about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were really like.
Well, they came back
pissed
like give it
about
a proper ending, which I find funny that she gets tired of it because her series that she did directly after that was like more of the same.
Oh yeah, the
Well,
one
that
that
was
she did before
Renee
that.
or
Yeah,
something like
Renee,
that. Yeah.
And she did a Ranma 1 half before that, and
Yeah.
that's like super long too. And
It
it's
is.
just like, just
But Ranma
fucking
was funny.
end the thing.
Ranma had like a comedy element to it. I think that's why I was able to go for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were the serious parts with it, but its whole core was that it was a gag.
I
comedy
get the
manga.
feeling that Inuyasha wanted to get serious, but it never got there.
It
It did.
It did get serious, but most of the time
but
it was
it
like,
knows its audience.
yeah, it
Yeah.
knows its audience.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Inuyasha Kagome! Inuyasha Kagome!
Man, I remember-
And then the room gets wet.
I remember back in the day, in like the early 2000s, like you'd go to conventions and like the creepiest fucking people would be Moroku cosplayers because they'd always go around to the women and be like, "Ooh, you want to bear my child to like break the ice?" Because that's one of the jokes
Yeah.
in it.
Yes.
So
That always works.
I bet it does.
It never worked. I've never seen that work for anyone. But yeah, like that was.
You have a better
It was
chance
silly.
if you dress up as a Katsuki Gumby.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was great.
uh,
But
But
yeah.
yeah, just going back to what Dan was saying, how he didn't like Dragon Ball Z. One thing that I find in all of my decades of fandom, unfortunately, is that people have these like jumping off points for where their anime journey takes them. Or like you didn't like Dragon Ball Z, but what was something that you liked? You know, what was one of the first animes you actually were getting into?
Agreed.
Back then.
Trigun.
Trigun. See.
Well, that one's actually good.
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball Z
Exactly.
is good too, but Dragon Ball Z is very meat and potatoes as far as
Yeah.
anime goes. It's
Yeah.
like action, punch people in the face. And that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
it. There's not
Tri-
really a whole lot else to it. All
Tri-
the comedy was in Dragon Ball. And you know,
Yes.
all the raunchy stuff as well.
Yeah.
But there was the driving episode, and no, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like I had multiple jumping off and jumping on points. Like when I was initially as a small fry, I grew up with Voltron and Robotech.
Yes.
And then when I got back into anime in the early 90s, thanks to one of my childhood buddies, Chris, that was like Orgus 2 and...
Wow, you saw Orgus?
Yeah.
Wow, you're probably the only person I've ever met that's actually seen it.
Yeah. Orgus.
The creator of Robotech originally wanted to do 3 different series and have it be like a mega series, where it was Robotech, this other series, and this other series.
Right.
Orgus was the second one. I don't think he got to do his third. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, Orgus was the second of his creations. Anyways,
Yeah.
continue.
But yeah, it was Orgus 2, and then I jumped off again for a while. I jumped back on the Dragon Ball Z era, which is like Dragon Ball Z, you know, it's like the whole Toonami get up. So it's
Yep.
like Sailor Moon, Tichimuyo, Dragon Ball Z, and that was, of course, when the glut of anime kind of came in, because everybody was just licensing everything and trying to see what stuck.
Yep.
Yeah, ADV back in the day.
Yeah.
Just throwing it on the wall and
Then
see what stuck.
Jumped off again for a
Those
few
were
more
the
years, and then I jumped back on, oddly enough, through K-On! And I've been kind of going ever since.
I've heard that's good. I've never seen it.
Yeah, really good.
Just watched the modern day equivalent called Love Live.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Okay.
much rather watch K-On! Than Love Live.
Would you? I'd rather
Yes.
watch Beck, but you know, it's neither here nor there.
Mongolian Chop Squad in the States because, you know.
Oh yeah, because you know, Beck.
And, you know, the Guitar Freaks CG every time they have a performance.
Yeah.
Still a good series, though. Had a nice soundtrack.
Yeah. But yeah, like kind of moving on, just like at this point, we like to let's talk about a little something that's like, what are you into this week? This is kind of the part where we kind of wander a little bit off from weeaboo trash nerd talk and just like,
Oh no, we don't.
No,
Oh.
we wander right back in.
Oh,
I
no.
Well,
know exactly
it's-
what I want to talk
I
about.
know exactly. I
Yes
want to
and
talk
no.
about it too.
Yes and no.
yes and
Yes.
no. But anywho, I'll tell you what. Let's lead off with Ellie. What would you? What sounds good for you?
Well, I posted about this on the site, and I don't think anyone cared about it, but I've been into killing stalking.
Nerd.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it's a Korean. Do you pronounce it manhwa?
Manhwa, yeah.
Manhwa.
You said it's
Korean-
yaoi. I'm not into yaoi.
It's not yaoi though. They're just gay.
Okay, that's the same
That's
thing.
not-
Okay,
yaoi.
okay, but do they do it?
Well, yeah, but it
Then it's
but-
yaoi.
But that's okay. If you know what it's about, like if you've read it, then you know it's not like there for like, you to like
Yeah,
get
it's
off
not there.
to.
Yeah.
It's
And
not.
it's
It's
part of
about
the
it's about a
story,
fucked
I
up
get it.
relationship. The relationship is awful. Like there's nothing sexy about any of it.
And why am I interested in this?
Because it's about like it's a thriller. I think you would actually like it.
Okay.
What it is that the main character, or I guess they're both kind of the main characters, but kind of the main character, was it Yoon Bum? He is obsessed with this guy that he.
Bum at his
Oh
name.
my god! Of course. Anyways, so he's obsessed with this guy that he's known from the army and when he went to college.
The army?
So,
Really?
anyways, so he's obsessed with them, and he's a really creepy stalker guy. Like Yoon Bum is a super creepy obsessive
I
stalker.
would
So
I don't think
guess.
you're gonna
The-
sell it down on this
No.
one. I don't think you're
can I
gonna.
can I finish?
Oh, go ahead.
Anyways, so one day he finds out where Songwoo lives, the guy he's obsessed with, and he follows, goes to his house, and he, figures out how to get into his house. So he goes into this guy's house to go, sit on his bed and explore his house and whatnot, because that's what creepy stalker people do.
Indeed.
And so Songwoo comes home and finds him, and Yoon Bum realizes this is a horrible idea. Why did I do this? Because there is a bound woman in the basement.
Okay.
And, I'm not going to say more spoilers than that, because that's basically it. But, and they find out that Songwoo really isn't the great guy that Yunbum thought he was.
So it's messed up all around.
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
So he's
Okay.
like Kira.
So
Basically.
In a way. But he actually, goes,
okay,
like...
I'm
And
sorry.
he didn't plan it all.
Still not interested in messed up stuff. I'm
It
sorry.
was me.
Are you kidding me?
It's
Yeah.
kind of like
You and I are
kind
not
of sounds
interested in
like
messed up
less
stuff?
Yuri on Ice, more Brokeback Mountain, but with a
Yeah.
hidden dash of like Big Bang Stalker song.
That's right.
Yep, Yuri on Mountain.
Yeah, Yuri on
Oh,
Mountain.
man.
But it's not romantic at all. It's awful.
If there's
Okay.
yaoi, I'm not interested. I'm sorry.
He's like, nope, not happening. But I know this is not my turn, but I just want to get everybody's quick opinion on Yuri on Ice winning Anime of the Year.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it did.
wow.
Yeah, it did.
I never
Some-
watched
What,
it.
what, like
What?
what
Some-
the Crunchyroll Anime
Yeah,
Awards?
the
Somebody
Crunchyroll
paid
Awards.
some money to someone.
I will say, I think it's as a girl that grew up like when anime started getting like really popular in like the early 2000s and stuff, and you always, they always had the like the fan service catered to men.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that the nerdy girls of nowadays finally have like that and
Yeah.
And free, like catering to their
Because
their
horror
Fujoshi
series
ways.
are very numerous.
Yes,
Very
they are.
numerous.
Like
Agreed.
I'm glad young teen girls can finally have their own fucking animes that cater to them.
Fair enough.
Even
Yeah.
though they're absolute trash, but
Yes.
whatever, they can have
I
fun.
mean,
Yeah,
There's an audience for everything. So
Yeah.
good for them.
I would say like for me, like I haven't seen Yuri on Ice yet, but I would more than likely put it as a tie. Like I would go with Yuri on Ice because it is the anime of the moment. Like it is right now. It's kind of in the one that's like gets all the fanboys and fangirls excited.
Just like Attack on Titan.
No,
was
just
Yeah.
fanboys.
years ago.
I would say just fanboys.
Hey,
but
hey, you never know, man.
but like like for me, like the anime that saved anime for this, like for 2016 would probably have to be
Space Patrol Luluco?
Not quite. I was
Okay,
gonna go
alright.
with Mob Psycho 100.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
No, I would say it's Drifters. Drifters.
That's because you haven't seen Mob Psycho 100
I
yet.
have.
Oh, he
Yes,
did
I have.
actually. We just me and him and Dylan discussed this. He did not like it.
I didn't like it either.
I
but I only
I'm
watched
sorry.
like an episode and a half.
I don't
so
like it.
That's my
No, I saw
Yeah,
5.
that's
I
a-
saw 5. And that was enough.
I saw 5. Damn it.
See, that's a problem. Y'all
Interesting.
didn't you didn't get through episode 3, and
Yeah.
you didn't get through episode 9.
I normally give a series 3 episodes. I normally give a series 3 episodes in sci-fi.
Don't
like
worry,
you're
it
not.
gets good in 30 episodes.
Yeah.
Just keep watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for me, it would have to be like Mob Psycho 100 was like my personal like pick for if I was like not only that, but also like one NeoGAF's anime of the year.
Really?
Well, the thing
So-
is, I think that Mob Psycho 100 looks way too close to One Punch Man.
well, yeah.
That's because it's the
It's
same
way-
manga.
Same
He doesn't
artist.
even try to hide it.
So I don't like that.
Just like the main character is Saitama with the wig.
Well, the thing is that like I'll crack a little backstory. Is that Mob Psycho 100 is actually one's main manga.
Was that before? Did he do that before he did One Punch Man? Or
Yeah.
was it like concurrent? Did he do it?
No, it was like before One Punch
okay,
Man.
okay.
It's the one that he was originally working on. One Punch Man was just a gag deal he was throwing up on his
Yeah.
website.
Yeah, because so Mob Psycho 100 was actually a legitimate manga he was
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, and then One Punch Man is just like his little.
He's like, what? People
One Punch
like this?
Man was like his. It was like his joke deal, but what happened was that God, I can't remember his first name, but like his name is Murata. He's the mangaka for Shield 21.
Oh, okay.
Took notice of his work and was like, "Hey man, will you let me remake this?"
Mm.
And he agreed to it, and they're getting it published. Like they started getting it published on Jump, and like that's where it took off. Is that it was the remake that caused One Punch Man to explode, and it got the anime, and then the anime super exploded.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, we gotta look at all of his stuff. So they went ahead and licensed Mob Psycho 100. The problem that I can kind of see with a lot of people having issues with Mob Psycho, though, is that because it comes from the same guy and it's even more ubiquitous of his personal drawing style, I can see where a lot of people would be thrown off by it.
It's a problem. Like, had Mob Psycho come out first, it probably would be more popular than it is. But
Yeah.
then again, it's still
Probably.
really popular. Just
Yeah.
you have 2 people at the table here that didn't like it, but still it's up there.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, I think what the main differ, I think I will commend Studio Bones for trying to differentiate Mob Psycho 100 via the visuals.
Yeah,
the fact
it
that they
was
did.
it was very different from One Punch Man, I think.
Yeah, like they actually went in and like it was like for example like how all the ghosts were done like they were painted with oil instead of their normal cell techniques that they do for animation.
Yeah, they had a lot of like mixed media in it. That's what I really like about Mob Psycho 100 is that there's a lot of mixed media visuals into it.
Yeah, and I think that's why that and One Punch Man itself are also really popular because I think nowadays because a lot of people have seen so many of the same series regurgitated in
it's
different
not
forms.
Moe Blob shit.
Yeah, I think that any like thing that's like a non sequitur will really stand out. I mean, like say what you will about Fairy Tail, but the thing that I really liked about it was that they wrapped up arcs very quickly in that series.
Yes.
Instead of like something like One Piece, Naruto, even Bleach, where they get to the big bad and they spend like maybe 10 episodes fighting the guy, and then all the other sub fights with all the other main characters. And when like Fairy Tail was like they spend 2 episodes on a boss and he's done.
And they actually have complexity to the characters. They actually do character development.
They did pretty well. I mean, and I'm not the hugest fan of Fairy Tail. It's just something that I noticed about the series that I liked. I was like, oh yeah, that's very different.
Yeah, like one of the other
Don't waste
things
time.
too that like my roommate Jason pointed out to me was that with Fairy Tail in the anime even all the filler still ties into the main storyline. They work very closely with the mangaka. The mangaka actually has a lot of control over that series, which is why they constantly change animation studios.
Yeah.
So
You can thank Naruto for that, really.
yeah,
We're not gonna drag into this 1 year filler crap.
yeah. But yeah, but the stuff that I'm into right now, Japanese indie bands. I've been posting about this a lot on our Discord channel for the group, and what's going on lately in Japan is that, like, for the longest time, it was either about, the IT bands were the visual K bands. Then it became, the idol with like AKB48 and all that ilk. But now it's like they all discovered like their hidden White Stripes records, and now you have a bunch of indie sound bands that have like come up. So it's like everybody's got to play guitar, and it's all got to be kind of math rocky and all this nice little jazz. I mean, it's come out with like a really good crop of bands, but it's just kind of crazy how like all of a sudden it's like, all right, bam, we're gonna get creative all of a sudden. And in the meantime, like all those visual K bands and metal bands that were huge back in the day, now they're all behind a lot of the music with all the idol bands lately. So that's been my main like kibash for the last few weeks.
Speaking of which, I think an album you might like is the album from Space Funeral. I don't know if it's all like by the same person. Have you ever played Space Funeral?
No,
it's a really old RPG Maker game. It's not super old, but it's a pretty old RPG Maker game made by one guy, and I like the soundtrack. A lot of people really like the soundtrack. It's by it's like some Japanese band. I have no idea, but
I'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out. You might like it.
Yeah. Hobbs.
The man who's been silent for the past 45 minutes. Please, sir, tell us what you've been interested in.
Didn't we skip you, Jared?
It's because I can't think of anything right now. Come back to me. Go ahead.
All right. We'll give you a pass for now, but
Woo!
we're coming for you later.
Oh, God.
He was using his Batman voice.
That's not the Batman voice.
Where are they?
Where are they? Why you want to kill me?
You gotta be non-coherent when you do a Batman voice.
Oh, boy.
I would just personally stick with Kevin Conroy's Batman, but that's me. So as far as things I've been up to, I've been working, not so hard, on the script for the Dojin, which our Dojin Circle is releasing.
Sell yourself, please.
I sell myself on the corner every weeknight, honey. Thank you for that. But as far as that, I've been writing the Dojin, as I said, trying to write a novel, getting ahead of myself, which seems to be a lot of my pitfall. And yeah, there's not actually much going on besides me sitting at my computer typing. Moving on.
Okay. Something that
you give me nothing to work with.
It's by design.
Let's see what Adon's cooking up. Go, spit that hot fire.
So something that I've been looking into is alchemy and psychology. which
Wow, thanks for showing us all up with
Yes.
your smarts and
I
such.
know.
See, Ellie, when you stop caring, it stops working.
I know. Well, in the previous podcast, I mentioned that I'm into that kind of stuff. So the reason why I'm into that stuff is because I like the old school anime. So it's related because I've been looking into the parallels between the anime Full Metal Alchemist and the historical alchemy, and I just like to compare.
See what they got right.
Yes, exactly.
See what they just threw to the wind.
And yes,
Yeah.
that's right. And what they just fooled around with, played around with. And psychology is because one of my goals for the next couple of months is have a panel and do Spice and Wolf and psychology, like Jungian psychology, which is something.
Speaking of that panel, we should probably get ready to actually, submit that in for the upcoming convention that we're going to.
Which one are y'all going to submit it to?
Probably Acon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you better get on it, man.
Yeah, 'cause we probably need to do that after we get done with this.
Mhm.
You got, what, how many months left till Acon? We're in February? It's in
We're in
June?
February, it's in June.
Yeah,
So
it's in
5
June.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's enough. I have
Is
my
it?
material.
Okay.
I have a
Or
material.
no, it's like 4 months now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, as far as like
Ellie's
submitting-
great at maths.
Yeah, that's right.
2 + 2 =
I
4.
tried my best.
Or it'd be like, like that one scene for Gaki no Sakai, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, yeah.
10, 1, 10, 2.
It's like, how do you count to 100? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. That's funny.
I argue that there's a lot of psychology in Spice and Wolf that has not been explored enough.
Can I tell you guys a fun fact about me?
No.
Never seen it.
Oh, you have to.
I know it has apples.
It has
That's
apples.
about it.
Yeah.
Apples?
Yeah.
Apples and a demon wolf.
So does Death Note. Death Note has apples. Spoilers, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm sorry.
You
Death
guys-
Note has apples.
You guys can't see it, but I'm making the Illuminati signal right now with my hands.
He's actually sitting his chair like Bale.
But yeah, like with Spice and Wolf, it's kind of one of those where it's like, come for the very attractive wolf girl, stay for the economics.
Oh, see, that's what I didn't watch it because that's what I thought it was.
Yeah. So
Economics?
Economics.
yeah,
Is
I-
economics your turn off?
No, I mean, like, I thought everyone was like, oh yeah, that hot furry slut, like, that's why I want to watch that.
Yeah.
So I never watched
No,
it.
I argue that economics is not what the story is really about.
Nah, I mean, that's kind of like the catchphrase I've used for it. There is a lot more deeper stuff to it, though. Like, there's like several different layers that you can go into with Spice and Wolf. I would like it basically almost be like the economics and Holo are kind of like the window dressing, but then the meat of the matter is once you open the window, and there's a lot of like subtle elements that are going on in the series.
If you go over the dialogues between the main characters
Yeah.
and the scenes, you realize that it's much more than that.
Yeah. It's just unfortunately they needed something to sell it on, hence,
Yeah.
Holo half naked up on a wall scroll, which I may or may not have in my house.
Well, yeah, right. So something that is somewhat of a spoiler that on the reason, what I would argue in this panel is that during the show you realize that Holo is not really addressed by anybody else except the other character.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might actually be moving into real spoiler territory, people. And for the record, I've not seen this either.
Well, now I want to watch it.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it should be still up on Funimation's website. I think they still have the rights
Not
to
even
it.
then, I could just torrent it. It's been out for a while. So it'll be around.
Just go to Kiss Anime, like I do.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good show.
Hey, there you go.
That's a good site. That's my site.
Yeah, we're already starting off on the right foot. It's like, hey, we should probably support the anime companies. Nah, fuck that.
Well, we've already got Starbucks involved. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
We can always edit that out.
Yeah,
we'll
we
fix
could
it in post. Fix
we
it in
could-
post.
Fix
yes.
it in post.
Fix it in
we
post.
could bleep it.
Yeah.
Nah, like, oh,
Well,
lordy.
what I like to argue is that if I had never watched, like, I'm not gonna fucking pay for something that I don't know if I like it or not. So what I do is that I'll get into some kind of media like anime or music or whatever, and then I'll go to like either that artist shows or I'll buy merchandise from that thing that I like, you know. So I think that's fair. Because otherwise I wouldn't have bought, you know, anything in the
That's
first
a
place.
controversial opinion right there.
I know.
It really
but...
is.
Yeah, but I think if you really like the stuff, you will buy it anyway.
And that's
Yeah,
why
that's what I'm saying.
That's
is
why I
that-
resubbed to Crunchyroll, because like I watch a ton of stuff on 9 Anime and Kiss Anime as well. And it's right now it's like, all right, well, I'll just go ahead and pay the $7 and support the anime community a little bit. Because I don't buy DVDs anymore. I mean, who does that?
That would probably be my main argument for like at least getting Crunchyroll is
Right.
because you know back in the day I could kind of understand torrenting because like even I did it back in the day because you know the industry it was all about you know in Glorious USA you would get a DVD disc that was usually about $25 to $30 that would have 4 episodes on it.
Yep.
Like FLCL, 2 episodes and a DVD? Fuck out of here, man.
Well, unfortunately, that was more like the fact that it was a nobody wanted to license it at the time except for I can't remember which company got their hands on it.
It was
at the
too
end of the day.
strange, I understand.
Yeah, so I mean, like that one was probably a case where the Glorious Nihon folks at Gainax probably had more control over the release of that here in the States than otherwise. Because like hell in Japan, you usually get 1 episode per Blu-ray, and that shit is like fucking $30-$40. But in Japan, they're still super huge on physical goods rather than
Physical media is still big over there.
yeah, physical media is like huge over there versus like the fact that we do everything digital.
I mean, I see both sides of it because, like, whenever I was huge on my anime torrenting, it was because the stuff that I was getting wasn't out in the US yet. It was all fan subs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Fate Stay Night's a good example. Like, the group that was doing that, you know, Fate Stay Night just came out. And, like, it wasn't going to be on DVD in, like, the US for years on end. So if you wanted to watch it, you had to torrent. That was the only way you were going to see it.
Yeah.
You know, Kiss Anime wasn't around back then.
Right.
Yeah.
They were
To this
miniseries.
day, Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei,
Yeah.
you cannot find it anywhere.
But that's one of those series where it doesn't translate well. Like if you don't watch it subtitled, then like
Did they even
Yeah.
do a dub?
I don't know if they did or not, but it wouldn't work either way.
No, it wouldn't.
Given
Kind of
the,
like
given the way the series is, not to mention with Shaft and the way they do their series combined, like nah, just fly over people's
and
heads.
bringing back Mongolian Chop Squad
Yeah.
also should not have been dubbed.
Right,
Yusuke's so cool, he speaks English like you're fucking doing.
and then the songs as well. So.
Yeah.
Zetsubo
Yeah.
Sensei would not translate. Just like Gintama. Gintama would not, a dub would not work for Gintama.
Nope.
Except
that's
for
why-
the
It's
fact
so
that
Japanese that you cannot dub it.
Well,
and
no.
well, except Crunchyroll is dubbing it
Yeah.
Gintama?
Oh, wow.
Really?
It's dubbed.
Why?
because they can.
But yeah, because they can.
Yeah,
That's
like
so
yeah,
big,
huh.
and it will probably fail.
But they're just gonna have to change a lot because there are a lot of Japanese jokes and jokes about Japanese society that, like, if you said it in English, it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Like-
I think a good example would be Summer Champloo as well. Like that didn't work out as a dub.
I thought it worked
Yeah,
I thought it
excellently,
worked out.
really well as a dub. That was actually one of the best dubs that you could get out there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Don.
I never watched a dub, so I don't know.
Like the joke, he constantly calls Katsura Zura,
Yeah.
which it means wig, because his hair is so perfect and silky and smooth that it looks like a wig. That wouldn't work if you, hey wig, what, is he a revolution? Well, actually he is a revolutionary, so they could kind of work that in, but it would completely change the meaning of the joke.
So you should be on the writing team. But yeah,
I'm on my own writing team.
hey, okay, there you go.
We suck.
But yeah, like earlier in the year, Crunchyroll, like they're now getting into the physical media game. They first announced that they were dubbing like a few series like Gintama, and they were going to put them out on physical disc. And then they went even a step further when they announced their partnership with Funimation.
Which
So
is great.
Funimation is going to help them distribute a lot of this stuff.
That was the best thing that's
So-
happened in like 2016 was them partnering with Funimation.
Yeah.
Because it just means their library expanded. So, from my estimation, it seems like now Crunchyroll is the subtitle site, and then Funimation is the dub site.
The only thing that sucks is they still haven't fully integrated some of their series over yet. Like, for example, Lucky Star was... Funimation got the rights to Lucky Star a while back.
Lucky Star.
And then initially on the Funimation website, or the streaming, whether you do the app or website, they had both languages up there. But now, ever since the partnership with Crunchyroll, you can only get the fucking dub version on the website. Which, don't get me wrong, I like the dub for Lucky Star, but I still like to watch it subbed. And it hasn't uploaded on. They haven't gotten it up on Crunchyroll yet. But yeah, I mean, my main POV is like there are certain series like I would say torrent the series that they can't get a hold of, like Macross, for example. Nobody can fucking get that shit. So torrent the fuck out of that shit, because that is probably going to be the only way to spread that series out.
You're not going to see it otherwise.
Yeah.
By the way, how was the new one? I don't remember the title anymore.
What, Delta?
Yeah, Delta.
I haven't even started it yet.
I thought you watched like at least
no,
first episode or something.
I've been watching. I was starting through Frontier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Frontier was boss.
Yeah, I haven't checked out Delta yet. The only thing I know about Delta is that it's got like the main girls. So, like they have this like troop of idolers who help out the Valkyrie pilots.
That's AKB-48.
Yeah.
In space.
Which on a really weird note, like you know the AKB anime AKB 0048
Yeah, I saw that in anime. Yeah.
made by the Macross team.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Is that the one where the girls like are guns?
No, I think that's Strike Witch. Isn't that Strike Witches?
That one's so bad.
Yeah.
That one's so awful.
Well, that's the one where they fly, like their legs are like propellers and stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, like we just concluded everything on a really weird note with that one. But yeah, at this point, let's go and wrap things up. As we have thoroughly and utterly and enjoyably wasted your time tonight.
Wrap it up, B.
So yeah, like watch out for us every week. And if you guys are like even more interested in following our stuff, check out our wonderful little blog website up on WordPress, and then also check out a lot of us up on Twitch, because you know various members of the group will do creative stuff or gaming stuff from time to time. We'll have that posted up on the site shortly. Follow us up on Twitter, Instagram, all that nice little jazz. But
Like us.
yeah, like us. Really like us.
Like us, please.
Like us.
Please love. Don't notice a senpai. Please notice a senpai.
Yo, can we get 5,000 likes for this podcast?
If we get 5,000 likes, one of them will get naked.
Woo!
Oh lordy!
Spoiler
Now we're gonna
alert.
have to-
Please don't.
It's gonna be
Spoilers.
All right,
He'll
but
probably do that without the 5,000 likes, FYI.
this is true. But anywho, yeah. So from everybody here at the table, thank you guys for listening to Nevicast episode 1, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.